The EcoCube, why and how it works. We're standing just in front of the EcoCube. And the ground temperature is 123 degrees. So we're going to go inside the EcoCube. Inside here, it's 79 degrees. Now there's no air conditioning or swamp cooler that keeps this cool. As we seen outside, the ground temperature was 123 degrees. Inside, the floor temperature is 58 degrees. To talk about how that is possible, we have to discuss 4 topics: thermal insulation, thermal isolation, thermal mass, and microclimate. These 4 concepts work together to keep the EcoCube moderately and comfortably controlled year-round. This is a sample of the insulation that's inside the EcoCube. In the walls you have 4 inches, in the roof you have 6 inches of insulation. This insulation has 13.5 R per 2 inches. The way thermal insulation works, it reduces the rate of thermal energy transfer. So wearing a coat would be an example of thermal insulation. Now I just showed you that the ground temperature in front of the EcoCube was 124 degrees. Right here it's 82 degrees. Because this is an example of thermal isolation. You have a shade structure that blocks the radiant heat from reaching the ground. Surrounding the EcoCube is a series of panels that shade the EcoCube, so it's thermally isolating the main unit from the sun. As you can see here, there's a little bit of a space between the panel and the EcoCube, so that when the panels heat up, that energy is not transferred into the unit via convection. We'll pull back and I'll show you what the panels look like. Now the floor in the EcoCube is about 1.5 inches thick, 7 foot by 7 foot slab of concrete. As I showed you earlier, it is 58 degrees. You can see the concrete there. It is acting as a thermal mass. The floor has over 30 times the thermal capacity than the air volume inside the EcoCube. So it takes a long time for this floor to change temperatures. To demonstrate the idea of thermal mass, if this tennis ball was made of cement, it would weigh about 0.9 pounds. A ball of cement of this size would have the same thermal capacity as all the air volume and all these plastic containers that you see here. So the amount of energy to change the temperature 1 degree and all these plastic bottles is the same amount of energy it would take to change a cement ball of this size 1 degree. The 4th concept is creating a microenvironment. Through various means, you could reduce the temperature or regulate the temperature from the temperature of the unprotected area. Plants do a great job of creating microenvironments. Here we are on the lower roof of the EcoCube, and its temperature is 88 degrees. If you remember, the ground temperature was 124 degrees. So there's a double roof system here. We have an upper roof that blocks the radiant sun, so it isolates the lower roof, bringing it down to 88 degrees. But then if we look at these plants, They measure 59 degrees, 60 degrees. The combination of the second roof and the vegetation placed upon this roof is creating a microenvironment, which is almost cutting the surface temperature in half. Here you can see there's 3 planter boxes that are placed on the lower roof to help create a microenvironment around the EcoCube. So we're back inside the comfortable EcoCube outside, away from the hot sun outside. And I want to talk a second about how temperatures are measured. As you see, the outside temperature measured here is 111, and this one measures 89. That's because the temperatures that you get online or from the news are measured in the shade. This outside temperature probe is in the sun. So if you're standing in the sun, even though it might only be 90 degrees, what you're feeling is considerably hotter than that. I'll finish up by giving you a quick panoramic view of the EcoCube. Now this one is set up as a vacation rental. If it was set up for long-term occupancy, I'd recommend using a narrow twin, which would give you about 1 more foot of floor space here. Here's the fans that use 6 watts that bring in the cool night air, which are set on a thermal temp switch. Then you have curtains, insulating panels, and the mirror. I have opened the curtains and removed the panels that help reduce the amount of thermal energy transfer. Now in this winter you would have this open so the sun would heat up the interior. In the evenings, night, and the morning you could have them open in the summer. But you could tell how much more spacious this is once you have this great view. If you'd like to see the EcoCube yourself, please contact me through the website ecocubeproject.org. I would be happy to answer your questions, and you can see in person how well this works. Thank you for watching.